What is going on, everyone? Nick here, and welcome back to Spellcaster University, where we basically have already 3-starred it. So that's pretty nice. We're kind of just chilling. We completed the dwarves. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's interesting. There's now a little logo. What? Yeah, sure, let us take care of it. Yeah, sure. We'll go do a dungeon at some point. We'll keep the same thing going. But yeah, we're basically done with this map, to be honest. Like, we don't really have that much to do now. But that's okay. We'll grind out. We'll grind out some goodness and hopefully get more passives, because we are at a point where it's like we do have to worry about how effectively we can do the last mission. So, you know, we want to have a decent time. Also, thank you everyone for the responses on last episode about the sports stuff. It was hilarious to read. It was a good time. It's very what's the word? Like, it's very, how do I word this? It's funny seeing how, you know, because America's very America first. I feel like everyone knows that, both Americans and non-Americans. So it's always funny to see, like, you know, specifically like football, because football's not really played that many other places. It's very like, oh, we're the world champions every time we win. But then it's just like, no, most of the world just doesn't give a shit about the sport. So it's always very funny to me. I'm always very interested, specifically sports, because I think sports is like a weird, it's a weird, like, it brings people together in such like a very specific way. And so I always feel like, you know, your views on sports kind of reflect how, like, you know, you might view politics or something like that, where it's like, you know, they're very clear lines, and like it's interesting. It's just less hateful. I mean, you say horrendous shit to rival team fans, but it's much more, you know, innocent, I guess, than something like politics. So I like sports and how people interact with sports. And so that was very fun. Plus, it's just nice to see stuff that's not. It's always good to see the opinions of. I guess we're gonna improve with the. Oh no, wait, what am I doing? We should just do this. It's always good to see, like, you know, the like, I don't give a shit about this when it's compared to, like, when you see like an NFL broadcast or like ads for the NFL. It's very like, you know, in your face, everyone loves it, like, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the NFL. Like, I am caught in hook, line, and sinker. I have multiple fantasy teams. We shit talk each other at work all day, every day about fantasy football. But it's just funny to see it be like, oh yeah, no, we just really don't give a fuck about it anywhere outside of the US and like kind of Canada. So that's interesting. It was a good, I had a good laugh reading your guys' comments while sitting in traffic. It's interesting, like, because of the time it is, like it's 9:10 as I'm recording. Oh, and this is gonna go up today. So today is 9:10. And so obviously, like, all of the like 9/11 documentaries, which, you know, if you're not US, that date doesn't mean as much to you, but that's when our trade towers got hit by the planes and terrorist attack. A long, like, what, 2001, 2002. But we'll take the orcs. But because of that, like, I realized that for the longest time I was very America centric. Like, I didn't have a lot of interest in going out side of the country. And I realized it's because of when 9/11 happened in my lifetime. Like, it was in very much in formative years of, like, I was like 10 or 11 when it happened. I was literally at an airport when it happened. and it's one of those things where it's just like, that was such a time of like America first, but everyone was like on the same side, and like, you know, everybody came together. So it made me very like proud to be American, if that makes sense. And you know, since then, you know, especially being more left leaning, you get to the point where it's like, okay, you know, America's not perfect. Like, there's some things that need to be addressed. We're also just getting great passes, by the way, while I ramble. But I do realize that growing up mentality made it so that I didn't, you know, really get into anything foreign ever until probably like high school, which is wild. But yeah, I know that, and that bleeds into my love of sports. Like, literally today, I'm going to the A's game, which is a baseball team, the local baseball team, and that, like, I don't even give it that much shit about baseball, but baseball is such like a staple of American culture, and like I literally played baseball for 11 years, and like, you know, and like now I could just not give a shit about it, but like there's just some part of me that will just like forever love baseball, because baseball's like very much tied to being American. And it's just weird. I realize that like that's why a lot of the younger generation here don't give a shit, or are more quick to dismiss like America in general, because they miss that time. Like, I feel like every generation has that thing where they're going to talk about it. And like for my generation growing up, that was 9/11. Like, that was our big thing. And then going to, you know, war in the Middle East and shit like that. But I feel like that very painted my rough age group and how we viewed America. And then of course, you know, the kids growing up now, they're having all the, you know, Black Lives Matter stuff happen while they're in high school, very formative years. So they're going to look at it like that. And it's very interesting that spills into other stuff other than just like politics and like, you know, like general worldviews, where it's like, oh yeah, this absolutely bleeds into my love for sports. Like, this is where this stems from. I even loved wrestling for a really long time, like WWE, because I to this day remember the first sporting event that happened post 9/11 was, I think it was either Raw or SmackDown, and I remember it being like absolutely like wild and intense and like super, like it was like a beautiful moment for like the country, and that's so weird to say at a wrestling event, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's a silly, dramatic, crazy, like fake fighting, but for that day it was just like this beacon of like hope and like, you know, pride in one's country and stuff like that. And so it's like, that's what I'll always remember, and I think that's shaped kind of how my worldview has been. And I find that interesting. Like, we, like, you know, it's one of those things where like every year around this time, you know, you get new documentaries, you get everybody talking about where they were that day and stuff like that. Like, I literally spent yesterday at work, or no, Wednesday at work, we were all just talking about it. And like, because everybody there was alive when it happened, and you know, it's interesting how it shapes people. Like, I noticed like the older generation's much more bitter about it, or not bitter. Bitter is not the right word, but much more like revenge filled, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, they wanted retribution for it. Where I think the slightly younger generation, like my generation, where it's like, oh yeah, we were like in middle school or in late elementary school, they're more like, oh, it was like this, like it actually, like it was the first time we saw the country brought together. So it's like a very weird thing to you know, be able to see and like, you know, have the awareness to notice how things affect other things, like you know, the correlation between that and sports, or that and, you know, how I view even other countries to that extent. Like, you know, like you know, when it comes time for like the Olympics and stuff, I hate both of these. We're gonna get rid of him. When it comes time for the Olympics, I'll always root for America, because like, I'm American at the end of the day. But like, I don't have that Like, I am super down for just like underdog upsets. I'm sorry, anyone from the UK, by the way. I did not want England to win in basically anything. I just don't want the UK to win in anything. I don't know what that stems from either, though. Like, I don't know why I dislike the UK when it comes to sports, but I just do. I literally can't tell you why, because I have zero clue what that comes from, but it's just like, it's ingrained in me for some reason. But I like rooting for other countries, and I find it weird because we get that a lot here, where it's like, you know, people will go out of their way and be like, oh, I want the Olympic team to lose, either because they're represent America or because they represent like quote unquote woke culture. But I'm just sitting there like, I want the team that, like, you know, people didn't know that country existed. At least Americans. I won't say people. Americans didn't know that country existed prior to the Olympics. Because it's mainly Americans who don't realize there's more countries than like 12. But I always want those countries to win. I don't know why. Either that or just like good stories. Like, I love good stories in the Olympics. And so I always get annoyed when people are like, oh, you have to root for America and America only. It's like, no, like, what if like the Netherlands is like rocking and like they have like a good storyline? Or like, I'm all for Australia winning anything, just because I'm just like, y'all deal with enough in your country, like wildlife wise. Like, go get some gold medals. Or like the Philippines, that girl that won the weightlifting thing, that was badass. And like, people were like, oh, you know, shit talking it here. And it's just like, dog, she just won the first medal that country's ever gotten. What are you talking about? Like, that's such a sick moment. But yeah. I realized I just had an episode where I found out nobody gives a fuck about sports, then spent the first 10 minutes talking about sports and 9/11. Very American-centric opening. But, yeah. Hopefully you guys don't mind too much. Just having one of those. It's a very, you know, around this time, I think everyone here who was alive kind of, you know, you start to think more about that kind of shit. Just because, you know, you see, like, I feel like every single channel, not that I have cable anymore, but my work has cable, is playing some kind of documentary. There's a bunch of stuff on Twitter. And of course, you have Steve from Blue's Clues come out, which that was like, that has nothing to do with 9/11, of course, but it's just like well timed, and I absolutely love that. I don't even know if Blue's Clues was aired anywhere outside of the US, which sucks because it was an absolute gem of a child show. It was basically just, you know, kind of like Dora the Explorer, but not like, but it had a dog instead of a monkey, kind of. And they didn't speak Spanish. Can they get it? Yeah, they can. Okay. But it was beautiful. And then the guy, and then the original main cast member did like a very, very touching, like, you know, the joke is that he addressed the nation, which is hilarious. But just did like a very touching, like, hey, I never forgot about you guys, and thank you for everything you've done, like, for my career and stuff like that. And it was just like, oh my god. It's just like everybody just crying. It's like, it's so beautiful. We love you, Steve. But that was a nice treat this week. It's very for some reason, this could be America only, but like the like rockin' cartoon channels that were like very popular when I was a kid, so, you know, we're talking 25 to 20 years ago, basically, are incredibly good at marketing to my generation. Like, they just do things that are like perfectly done to like specifically get like millennials, essentially. And it's very weird because you don't see that in a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of times they'll like miss the mark, but like for us over here, at least, Nick Jr., Nickelodeon, and then Cartoon Network are both very good at like you know, kind of giving nods to the older people and stuff like that. And it's appreciative, or it's appreciated. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a wild, because like I don't know, like I never, because growing up you always see them like try to pander to. Let's go do the dungeon. I don't even know if we're ready for that. I don't know. Well, let's just go. Right, this person Vanessa rocking it just doesn't have good shadow magic, which might actually be a massive downfall for us. Do we have anyone who is particularly good? Okay, so this student right here, we're going to take Craig. He has Wild Fury. Yeah, let's put him in the back. Let's see. And we have another one we could do here. Gary Nanny. What a name. Make him Wild Fury as well. They could bounce off each other. And then the front lines. Do we have anyone who has Sacred Magic, really? We have Turga Gru, who's actually not terrible. Let's put her up. We'll let her do shield. And let's take the... Ooh, yeah. This Elementalist. Yeah. Because she can also heal. Alright, let's do it. I know I could min-max this, but I don't really want to. Well, sure, let's get the free stuff. Oh, we don't have a Deepkin. We could have got so many Deepkins. Let's go forward. We don't really need... We'll fight, though. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, that's pretty good right out of the gate. Okay. Where's the troll? We stun the troll. Don't yell he's too big, please. We don't need that imagery. Let's take on the Arc Lich. We're getting a lot of stuns off, which is great. I think it's because my enchanting rune is quite good. Let's see. We don't want any of those. Let's take... Sure, we'll take this one. We could take on 2 rats. There we go. Let's see. We'll do Krypton Shadow Room. Oh. There we go. It's going pretty smooth. Druidism. Let's tuck them while they sleep. Yeah, let's learn from them. Yeah, give me this one. Let's kill an ancient dragon, shall we? We did stun him, so this should be doable. There we go. Bunch of deep folk. Yeah, we'll protect you. Arm your spells. 2 dwarves. 2 dwarves. End them. Do it. We'll fight this one. Yeah, we have like just enough shields to survive right now. Oh, let's absolutely take the refectory dormitory stuff. Absolutely. We will always take the one that reduces the evil lord. We'll also do this one. I think we could take the specters. We should be able to do this. The only thing we don't have that kind of sucks is oh, she almost just died. We're gonna die. Oh no. Well, we continue until they die. Let's take the nature rooms. Can we fight a Knight of Darkness with just these 2? No, we cannot. Oh, that's funny. I'm kind of so I've gotten to the point where I'm kind of fine with the I'm fine with everyone, like, or I'm fine with shorter dungeon runs, because I realize, like, you get, like, yes, you get good stuff out of it, but at the same time, it's just not all that important. Like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but like, unless it's at like the very beginning of the map, it never feels like you get all that much. Or like, not that that's the wrong way to word that. It feels like you don't. Not that it doesn't matter, but like, I'm trying to think of how to explain this. Like it's fine to go in there and it be super short, because all you need is like a couple things out of there and you're set for the rest of the map. Like, I almost wish it didn't reward you as much, but you got to do it more frequently. Like, I think that would be more fun, in my opinion. And again, people will probably disagree with that, and that's fine. But I just feel like, I don't know, as long as you can run like 10 rooms, like you're kind of just set for the rest of your run, or for the rest of that map. And then it's just like, okay, well, I guess that's what we're doing. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not. I don't know. Maybe I'm undervaluing them. But like, I don't know. I wish that was changed. I wish I wish that was a bigger part of the game. Is I guess how I mean to say it. Just because it does feel like you get like 1 or 2 per map, and once you've done those 2, it's kind of whatever, right? Like you're just done. You've milked it for whatever you could, and then I mean, that's fine. Like it serves a purpose. I do think it makes things easy, a little too easy at times. But I feel like that could be improved. Like that entire thing. I'm just gonna do a second one up here. Yeah, and like I said, that could be something where, I'm wrong. Or it could just be how you feel about it. Like if you're trying to min-max super hard, yeah, they're great. But like if you're just trying to play the game and enjoy it, I feel like a lot of the times, that could be fleshed out a bit more. I'm also waiting on news of an update. Some kind of update. Either that or a what do you call it? A DLC. That would be nice. Because again, I think, and it's no knock against this game. Like, I obviously still love this game. I just wish that the dungeons, there's like more substance to them, I guess, is the best way to put it. And again, if you disagree, that's totally fine. But just for me personally, I feel like cause I feel like there is potential to min-max really well. But you just don't get that because I don't even want to put this. It doesn't really matter. Let's give it to, you know what? This dude's been working overtime. There you go, big guy. But I just feel like, as far as like replayability and stuff, like if the dungeons were more involved, like, or even just have a challenge mode in which all of the stars were dungeon based, and then you could like always run a dungeon, but you had to meet certain criteria or whatever. Like that could be really cool. Oh hell yeah, free -3, let's go. But yeah, I wish that was like a little more fleshed out. Because I think even on short, like once you get past, I'd say like the 3rd university, you're no longer, the game's not particularly that hard anymore. Because you can 3-star it super easy for the most part. And I actually think turning up the speed is more difficult than actually raising the difficulty. Just because you don't get to pile on as many passives. Because the passives will delete any difficulty otherwise, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's very much the rich get richer in this game, which is probably how it should work. But it's just, that can get a little tedious at times. With another free -3, we'll take it. We have a bunch of Goonie pigs, so that might be, what's causing that. Put the chains in the psychology ward, because that's what you want to see when you're trying to fix your brain. Let's put this here. Hey, we finally got Flower Crown, wow. It's like the first one. There you go. You could observe the stars, give me ritual components. A shaman. Damn, I was going for, yeah, see, like, we're going to be out of control passives after this one. So many inventors. Oh, my God. Elemental Summoner. We'll take. Bounty Hunter, Inventor, Lord Demonic Plains, Dragon Rider. No. Be gone with that garbage. Elementalist. No Ranger. Cultist. We'll take. Yeah. I mean, again, it's going pretty smooth. it's going well. I'm not going to complain too much. I just figure put this up here in case you want to go learn time magic somewhere else. But yeah, this game's still great though. Still a very good game. I will be excited, and I know so. You know, I like obviously at some point I'll stop playing Spellcaster, at least for a time. This is absolutely a game I will come back on every expansion kind of thing and play a bunch of runs. If they continue with that. The slight lack of, at least as far as the Steam page goes, I haven't seen anything talking about any updates or anything. So hopefully they plan on continuing it. Although it might not have sold as well as they'd hoped. That's very possible. I remember specifically that never got into the new and popular tab on Steam, which can apparently like kill games sometimes, which is a huge bummer because I think this deserves it. But I know, like, Rogue Spirit came out recently, and I was really excited for it. And I was like, okay. I worked the day it came out, and so I was like, okay, when I get home, I'll buy it and record it. And when it came out, when I got home, I saw that it didn't make the popular, like, the new and popular. And because of that, it only had, like, it'd been out for, like, 10 hours at that point and had, like, 3 or 4 reviews. Which, obviously, reviews aren't everything, but you have those people who will get games that are popular and then immediately review them so that they can link you to their, you know, either gaming website or... Do we not have a Lightroom? Am I losing my mind? Yeah, we do. Okay. And so normally, like, that's a sign of, like, oh, yeah, this is going to be decently popular. And nope, just nothing. And I was like, ooh. And then, of course, it didn't sell well because of that. Like, and that's a huge bummer. Because I thought that game was another game that was very much worth it. But it just hit that point where it didn't get into that new and popular, which is a shame. And I'm hoping that's not what happened with this game. I'm hoping that the devs are just taking a well-deserved break. And then they'll be back to give us a DLC or something pretty soon. Or at least announce something, because like the hype of a DLC can also carry, like, you know, talk about things you want to see in it, or, you know, whatever. You know, that would be fun. That'd be a fun time. That would make me make a what I want to see in Spellcaster video. But right now, just because there hasn't been any news on anything, I'm just like, okay, I can hold off on that because this might just be the final product, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think devs should be pressured into feeling like they have to just pump out content because they already have a massive problem with what you call it, with like overworking and stuff. So yeah, so we don't rush devs here. That's not the goal. What the hell? I am so sick. So I just got a text message that it's just like some like campaign person, and they just basically go through the list of like every like area code, because like I live in California right now, and so we're having like our big like, oh, our governor might be recalled. And so all the time I get text messages from like the random lines of like, what are you gonna vote for, this yada yada, and it's just like, shut up, leave me alone. But like once you like block one, or like you say like, oh, stop these messages, it's just a different similar thing texting you. And it's just like, oh my god, I hate this time of year. I realize I haven't been upgrading anything. Time Traveler. Spirit Summoner, nice. Time Traveler, Sandman. Plane Shifter. Magician, no, you can be Archmage. Or not. Bounty Hunter, sure. Inquisition Blacksmiths, whatever. Gravedigger. How do you have all these possibilities and become a village mage? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? There we go. I mean, this is a great map as far as farming good good graduation stuff. Good passives. Our light mana generation is absolutely pitiful. There we go. We have all the infirmaries. But okay, I think this is a good stopping place. Hit the pause. You guys have listened to me ramble about sports, America, fucking all kinds of shit today. So thanks for sitting through that. Yeah. I don't know. Just felt like chatting today. We did, because it's like we're 3-starred, so it's not like, I don't know, there's no real like goal for this one anymore. It's just like, okay, well, let's just farm it and chat some shit. But yeah. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. And hopefully I see you next time. See ya.